We have a few things we need to do before we actually start tiling that we're gonna talk about. One thing we're gonna do is pull some numbers. We have 17 3/8. That's not gonna be necessary today. We're gonna call it 10 3/4. Over here, 10 3/4. Going ahead and cutting all these now to where I don't have to try to deal with it once I start putting tile in. We have this one over and down, this one up and over, and then this one down. I have nothing underneath here. I need to cut one that comes out and one that comes down, and that is it. That'll wrap that, and then this is gonna return, and then all the way over. One thing that we're doing on this that isn't recommended, we want a half pattern, so we want to stagger these things. There's a few different patterns that you can do with tile. You can split in thirds so that you have like a stair step all the way up. You can also offset and just keep this pattern going and run that the whole entire way. If you do the half like this, you end up with the chance of getting lippage, which would result in an uneven surface and not as flat. But it's my house and that's a risk I'm willing to take because I like the look of this as opposed to a stair step method. Now, something we're doing is soaking all these. You can actually hear it too. So tile being a porous material, and what we don't want to happen is for us to put these on the wall and it suck all the moisture out of the thin set that we're using. That will result in premature drying and we won't get as good of a finished product. It's like a jacuzzi. Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? I need a little trowel. I don't know what I'm doing in here with this big old squonker. I also think I'm supposed to be going up, not sideways. I think the tile this way is supposed to be contradicting to the pattern of your deal here. Could be wrong on that though. Don't trust me. If I establish this pattern, it should be good, because then I can just kind of work my way through it. I'm almost done, you guys. How beautiful is that? I need to unscrew those guys all the way. Bzzz. Oh, I don't like tile. Wow, this tile is dirty. I don't care what anybody says, tile is difficult. The attention to detail you have to have is pretty incredible. I have a lot going on here, but we're good. My reveal all the way across the top looks incredible. I'm not gonna measure anything. There's no need to measure stuff when you've got everything to scribe. That number is gonna work all the way across. One thing I do when cutting tile, you can see this is my line right here. I can just trace that down for you guys. Do you see how it's right on the split of these two little rectangles? I'll mark up here, I'll mark over here wherever I need to. A lot of tile covers and grouts, so I don't really care for precision. I know that sounds very hackish, but I don't need to. I'll show you what I mean. But it's on the wall. All my cuts are clean. Everything's where it should be. I'm gonna get a toothbrush here in a bit and clear out any of these lines that have thin set in them. That way I'm not doing a bunch of scraping when it comes time to grouting. That was by far the hardest part. The rest of it's smooth sailing, or so I think. Now, we can't just start here. We have to finish this one under here, even though we don't really want to, because we need to make sure everything stays in line. Nope, don't like it. I cut that wrong. I need napkins, freaking washcloth or something. Bro, I hate tile. While you guys are entertained here watching me put in some tile here. Oh, my tile game just got stepped up thanks to this little rag. So I ran into a bit of a problem here, and to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how to solve it because I don't do tile. This has to be fixed where it's at. That stays. This joint down here is not lining up with this joint up here. And what's happening is this is now not lining up here. The rest of them don't matter. I can make all of them line up here and they'll all jive the rest of the way. This one here is kind of off. I don't know that I'm gonna let that bother me. Or do I? And I put a tiny little baby piece in there. I can do it. That's not that little piece. I was gonna fudge this one because this piece right here is really small. But what it did is it threw off this line right here and the eye is gonna catch that. Anybody that walks in this kitchen is gonna go, holy smokes, Matt, what did you do? And then you guys would probably roast me as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and we'll just fill this little guy in with a tiny little sliver. Tile is one of those things that I really, really like, but I really, really don't like doing it. Tile looks incredible when you're good at it. This line right here, lining up to here, left me with these two little baby pieces over here, which I probably could have figured out prior, but I think that you would just stick a little piece in here, right? Here and here. So I'm gonna do that. I got it over to here. It's looking good. I'm gonna get it over to this wall and finish up into here. We've got this side over here done. I'm not gonna mud this side yet though. We'll get it. We're gonna get it taken care of, but I would like to get this over to here and then continue out. Overall, all of our joints are staying right where we need them to be. Spacers are doing their job. As far as cleanliness goes, well, I'm not the cleanest tile installer, that's for sure, but it's working out good. I have to appreciate the amount of work that goes into doing something like this because my wife was able to do a whole entire shower and didn't complain once. So in the case you didn't see it in the last episode, my wife stacked all of this 3x12. I don't know what this is, Arteca white, something like that. She did an incredible job. This stuff looks great. Stacked as well. She busted out the laser and worked through it. She texted me a bit ago and she goes, how's the tile going? And I said, I absolutely cannot stand doing tile. And she goes, why? Because this is not what I do. At this point in my life, I really don't know what I do. So there's that. Now if we just leave this right here, we can watch the water actually wick up the backside of that tile. Being a porous material, it likes to absorb that water. What happens is when you go to apply that dry onto a bunch of wet thin set, you're going to end up with it sucking all the moisture out, causing it to cure a bit too quick. All we're doing is pressing it onto the wall, giving it a little shimmy. What that's going to do is allow it to adhere to the thin set on the wall. Spacer here, spacer there, spacer there. That keeps this uniform. Look at that little baby piece. Since I can't get up there too easy, I'm just gonna go ahead and back butter this one real good. We'll get the same result. There's a defect in my cabinet up here. Or maybe I missed a screw. Could be both. We're gonna go ahead and back butter the heck out of this. I think that's really only supposed to be done with large format tile, but it allows me to get in here and throw this up. Just like so. Might seem really obvious, but you have a factory, you'll have your other cut. Always put your other cut towards the wall or towards the outside on your trim. Factory should always be to factory. So now that we've got this done, kind of opens the door for us just to get moving. Big guy. Just making a little line and an X on which one I need to keep. Now I just have that last little ripper up at the top to do, which is like 2 pieces. I've got these little custom guys to do. That's all taken care of. Tile's not bad, I'm not gonna lie, but only because this time it went good. We're almost wrapped up over here. It's been about an hour and a half since we started applying tile, so it's going quicker than I imagined it would. We need to get outside and pour as soon as possible. All we're gonna do for this is just try to figure out a happy medium. We're gonna sight down, it looks like the middle of this run, and that's gonna be it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. We need to cut more off the bottom. We also need to back butter this one. Made a couple minor adjustments to it. I'm going to back butter it because we are looking a little thin. Shove that guy right there. Boom, done. Wham, bam. Thank you, brother. Now the backsplash on that wall is now complete. We got all the way up into there. I'm gonna let this set up a little bit more, and then we're gonna take and scrape this down. That way we don't have anything drying down there. Yes, we still have this little portion right here that we're gonna take care of. Well, the sun is still out today. I need to get outside. Do you see how nice it is? The reason I need to get outside is not because it's beautiful out, but I need to pour concrete. But man, oh man, is that looking good. Really happy with that. Looks cool with all the blue in there, but that'll all go away. We need to get a toothbrush out, clean all of the grout lines sooner than later. We don't want it to dry. Then we'll end up picking everything out of it. We'll take care of that a little bit later. But in the meantime, let's pour some concrete. As I'm telling you guys everything, I just got a quote back from the glass company. He came over and quoted me on doing the panel with a notch in it and bringing it over just a bit. $785 on that. And then $370 just for the panel on the little half wall.
Thought it'd be golden, crossing the line and don't look back. think I was broken. I needed some time to clear my head. 'Cause I've made all the mistakes and I've dealt with the heartbreaks, but I think that I found my way. 'Cause I've been sinking like a stone. Carolina, take me home. Nothing's ever really broken. I won't let you go. 'Cause I'm finding my way right back to you. I'll find my way back to you. I see a river floating its way out to the sea. I can remember carving our names onto that tree. And I just wanna see you. 'Cause you will never know just how much I've been missing home. 'Cause I've been sinking like a stone. Carolina, take me home. Nothing's ever really broken.
I'm gonna let this concrete set up for a minute. The mud mixer is kind of an odd tool because when you have a clog, say it jams up, the water does not stop because it recognizes that it's on. It doesn't recognize that it's clogged. What this means is that anytime the machine jams up a little bit, which happens from time to time, the water continuously sprays while the mud no longer mixes. This leads to a watery mess because water overflows onto the mud, makes it pretty much soup, and then pours it out onto the slab. It only clogged once or twice, and to be honest with you, a lot of that's my fault because it hasn't been the cleanest, but love that machine. That is one tool I don't think I will ever get rid of. I don't know that I've used it enough to necessarily recoup what that would have cost me, but once we get out to California and we use it out there, then we're good. Let's head inside real quick, check on our tile job. We need to strip all the spacers out, wipe the whole entire thing down with a warm washcloth or a sponge, and hopefully it all finished out good. Come on, I'm almost there. Got that all cleaned up. We'll go back in there with a warm sponge here in a bit. Everything moved over to the other side here. We are ready to pour this section out. This is one of the most important steps. So with cleaning off the tile, cleaning out the grout, we have this little grout brush right here, and this is a great little tool. You have to use it before it's too late though. They're not super hard bristles. They're not going to scratch any of the tile. And then I've got a sponge with hot water, and I'm just going through any of the areas where we need to grout in between the tile, top, bottom, this area between here and here. I want to make sure that it's all cleaned out. So this right here is out past the face of the tile. If we were to grout this, it would still be visible. So we're gonna take our little brush here, and that's all we're doing. Looks like a completely different joint. We've got the same thing going on up here. This one isn't out all the way, but we can clear that out. This one down here, not so bad. So that's good to go now. We will grout that in the next episode and we will be good to go. Look at how stunning this place is looking right now. Just appreciate this. From what we walked into, if you guys have the opportunity, it's not even about the money. You will never have a better feeling as you do walking into a place like this that you've put a lot of time and effort into. That little broom that I bought doesn't work all that well, so I'm just gonna hit a swipe with the old job site brush, because that is 10 times cleaner already. That's pretty content with that. I'll let that stay in the backyard.